Today on the Trent Out Loud podcast. Like I told you guys before, this is probably Diddy's worst weekend ever of his entire life. Like every single person this weekend is coming after Diddy, including Tupac's family. What up? It's your boy, Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, it's Monday morning. I hope you guys had a great weekend and you're rested because I got a huge show set up for you guys today. I think this was probably Diddy's worst weekend of his life. I have so much Diddy news, it's going to make your head spin. Normally we have lead stories and quick news, but we're going to just join everything today because we have so much to cover, all right? We're going to start off with talking about Usher being sent to the hospital as a kid after spending a weekend with Diddy. There's somebody that's accusing Diddy of abusing Usher as a child. There's a woman talking about Ja Rule, Busta Rhymes, and Al Sharpton at Diddy's parties. One of Diddy's ex-bodyguard is claiming that a woman is lying on him and he has text messages to prove it. We have more on Jaguar Wright. We have a 6-year-old boy that was at one of Diddy's parties and he's going to tell you about that. Tupac Shakur's family has hired investigators to look into Tupac's death, and they're thinking that Diddy may have something to do with it. There's a bidding war happening with Diddy tapes in Hollywood. Foxy Brown is breaking her silence, and Diddy has a new judge in the case. Like I said, this is the biggest episode we've ever done on Diddy. All of this unfolded over the weekend. Sit back, relax, grab a coffee, grab a drink. I'm going to tell you everything that happened over the weekend to Diddy. We also are going to have a little bit of speed news. We haven't done speed news in a long time. We're going to tell you about Kendrick Lamar and what he submitted to the Grammys, the movie Joker 2, and then we're going to close out speed news with Drake talking about his fake friends. And if we have enough time, we'll jump into question of the day and a little bit of sports news. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TV, your radio, or your devices up. I'm about to start this show. Let's go. Diddy's ex-bodyguard says music executives told him Diddy allegedly made Usher's behind bleed when he was a kid and sent Usher to the hospital. All right, this is a huge accusation coming from Diddy's former camp. Diddy's former bodyguard, Glenn Deal, has come forward with disturbing allegations claiming that music executives informed him of an incident involving Diddy and Usher when Usher was just a child. According to Deal, Usher was allegedly assaulted by Diddy, which resulted in injuries so severe that he sent Usher to the hospital that night. Deal suggests this incident led to severe trauma with Usher. Well, of course, I mean, that goes without saying. But so before I play the clip for you guys, I just want to give you guys a little bit of context for those of you who don't know. We have covered this on a couple of podcasts before. Diddy was Usher's legal guardian. I think when Usher was around 13 or 14 years old. Back in the day when, you know, kids were breaking into the music industry, it wasn't uncommon for the parents to leave them with record executives while they were doing their album. And for those of you who don't know, Justin Bieber also too was not a legal guardian. Diddy wasn't his legal guardian, but he also spent time with him too when Usher signed him. So this story, again, is alleged. We don't know the facts behind it, and we don't know if the feds are going to investigate into this. But we do know that Usher spent a lot of time with Diddy, and Diddy was his guardian. So I will play the clip for you now. And this is one of Diddy's ex-bodyguards saying what somebody in the music industry told him. Take a listen.
What happened to Usher?
I heard it from some music executives. Puff sent this little kid to the hospital. Nigga was bleeding from the butt. At the time, I didn't know who the F Usher was.
So, like I said, and like you just heard, at that time, nobody knew who Usher was. He was just a kid hanging out at Diddy's house, and apparently, the allegations of what he just alleged. I'm not going to repeat it again, but it could be likely that the parents were not informed because, like I said to you, Diddy was his legal guardian. So again, I'm not saying that this is true, but I'm just saying people are like, oh, how could this happen? I don't know how could this happen. How we wouldn't have heard about it. Again, this was close to 20 years ago. Usher was not a celebrity. He was a 13-year-old child working on an album. And if Diddy was his legal guardian, Diddy could have brought him to the hospital, made up an excuse of why he could be, bleeding from behind there, and it not have been got back to his parents or anybody outside of Diddy because he was his legal guardian at the time. So I'm going to leave it with you guys there to decide whether you believe it or not. I'm just here to, report to you like everything that I'm saying. This is all over the news. It's being reported. There's a lot of things that people, say on YouTube and say online, but if you do your research, this is hitting some of the bigger outlets. This might get picked up, and we don't know. This might get investigated more with the feds and indictment, and we might hear something more of this. So, all right. So let's see. That was Usher. Let's now jump over to talking about a woman that alleged that she saw Ja Rule, Busta Rhymes, and Al Sharpton at Diddy's party. So, like I said, I got a lot to cover today. Just let's tackle one thing at a time. Let's talk about this new case that is alleged with Ja Rule and Al Sharpton. Woman accusing Diddy of forcing her to participate in freak-offs claims that Ja Rule, Busta Rhymes, and Al Sharpton also attended these parties. We previously reported that a 46-year-old former go-go dancer is suing Sean Diddy Combs, claiming she was pimped out at his wild freak-off parties back in the early 2000s. Adria Inglis says she was hired in 2004 to dance at Diddy's parties, where she rubbed elbows with heavy hitters in the entertainment industry. During an interview with the Daily Mail, Inglis said she was forced to engage in freak-offs that took place in private rooms separate from the main party. She says A-list celebrity guests also attended, and some of the names were Ja Rule, Busta Rhymes, and even the Reverend Al Sharpton. She also claims to have seen Diana Ross and her son, who was underage at the time. Okay, so we just talked about Usher being underage. We hear now that Diana Ross's son was there and he was underage. And stay tuned for a couple of stories down in maybe around 5 or 10 minutes. I'm going to talk to you about a 6-year-old that says that he was at one of Diddy's freak-off parties. All right, so just stay tuned. I'm going to cover everything. The woman English also claims that Diddy secretly recorded these encounters, using them to blackmail celebrities. English didn't list who she was allegedly forced to have sex with due to her ongoing lawsuit, but she is suing Diddy for sex trafficking and more. If English wins her lawsuit, she plans to launch a non-profit organization for sex trafficking victims. One of the things I question about this whole blackmail on tape is that if some of these alleged blackmails happen in, let's say, for example, like early 2000, wouldn't that celebrity who's getting blackmailed tell other celebrities, yo, don't go to any more of Diddy's parties? He recorded me doing something and he tried to blackmail me with it. Unless whoever he was blackmailing didn't want other celebrities to know that they got blackmailed. So maybe they're just kept it hush-hush. But I don't know. I just find that it's just a little bit weird. Like, how would you continue going to his parties when you know and when you find out these things are happening, man? Anyways, it's weird to me. All right, let's go over now to Diddy's ex-bodyguard, Big Joe, and he is going to provide text messages about a woman that he said is trying to shake down Diddy for money, and how she's lying and she wanted him to be involved in her case. Let's go to Big Joe. Diddy's ex-bodyguard, Big Joe, claps back at sexual assault allegations, saying he never met the woman. Diddy's ex-bodyguard, Big Joe, is breaking his silence after being named in a sexual assault lawsuit. He claims he didn't know the accuser and has never even been in the same room with her. According to Joe, he refused to join the money grab scheme against Diddy, and now he is caught up in all of the drama. He says he ain't denying her story. He's just saying he has nothing to do with it. All right, so I thought it was important to talk about this because as it's fair to talk about the people who are allegedly have cases against him, we should also talk about the people who are being accused of doing this as a money grab. All right. So I'm going to play a video where Joe is going to talk about not even being in NYC. And she is claiming that Big Joe and Diddy sexually assaulted her, but he has proof that he wasn't even in New York. And then I'm going to play a clip where he is showing that she's asking him like, hey, are you Big Joe? Do you want to come in this with me and be on my side? And if not, I'm just going to wrap you up in this lawsuit too. So here is Big Joe. Take a listen.
It's a lie on me. That's all I'm saying.
You've never met her.
Never in my life. I've never been in the same room with you. Not only wasn't I there, wasn't even in New York. Her and whoever that she's in cahoots with was orchestrating a money grab, and she wanted me to be part of that money grab. It says it right in her text.
The text goes on to say, if you will be my witness against Diddy, then my attorneys will leave you out of any proceedings.
All right, so you could interpret those text messages one of two ways, right? You could look at it like she's saying, hey, come on my side, corroborate what I'm saying to you, and then I will leave you out of it, saying, listen, I still think what you did was wrong, but I'll leave you out of it if you help me prove my case. That's one way to look at it. Or you could look at it like, hey, I'm trying to bring this case against Diddy, and, I want you to be on my side, where it's like what Joe is trying to implicate that it's fake, So you can look at it both ways, right? But at the end of the day, Joe is saying like, hey, it's not that I don't believe you. It's not that I don't think that your case is true. Just leave me out of it. So I don't know. I hope that we get more information on this case, because I would really like somebody to go through those text messages and find out the other things that she said to him. They're only showing us at the beginning, because it's, police do that all the time, right? Where it's like, hey, if you testify against this person, we won't press charges against you. So it's not unbelievable for a victim to say, look, I know that you were involved in this too. You were, but I will leave you out because really who I want to go after is Diddy. So is those text messages really bad? Depends how you want to look at it, and depends of more text messages, right? All right. So the next thing that we're going to go to now is Big Joe implicating Jay Prince and saying that Jay Prince is behind some of these court cases that are going after Diddy because he's trying to defend Drake. I know that sounds confusing, but stick with me. I'll explain everything to you. All right. So let's go to now Big Joe accusing Jay Prince. Jay Prince allegedly trying to take down Diddy as revenge for the mogul slapping Drake years ago. All right. So context. Diddy and Drake apparently were beefing, I don't know, like 5 or 6 years ago, I think over the beat 0 to 100 real quick. All right. And apparently that beat was made for Diddy, but then Drake heard that beat, said, he told the producer, I want that beat. And he gave it to him, and Diddy got mad and apparently allegedly slapped Drake. That has been a story that's been around in hip hop for years. A lot of people have confirmed it. And for those of you who don't know, Jay Prince, CEO of Rap-A-Lot Records, is kind of like Drake's bodyguard in the industry. Okay, Jay Prince is mob ties. He's a street dude. And although that Drake was never signed to Jay Prince Rap-A-Lot Records, Jay Prince's son is the one who discovered Drake and brought him to Lil Wayne and Cash Money. All right, so Jay Prince, mob ties, is Drake's bodyguard in the industry. Now, Drake apparently went to Jay Prince and was like, did he just slap me? And apparently Drake kind of got a little upset at Prince for like, you didn't have my back. Nothing happened to him. So now Big Joe is saying Jay Prince didn't do anything. And we don't know why Jay Prince didn't do anything, but he's alleging now that case, that the lawyer that brought that class action suit last week against Diddy with the 120 cases, that lawyer is apparently Jay Prince's lawyer. And I found it funny when I first talked about the story, and the lawyer, what was his name? Tony Busby. And they were saying that he is a lawyer out of Texas. And I'm like, why is there a lawyer out of Texas involved in this? From all the places that we've heard, it's always been New York and LA or Miami. That's where the feds raided Diddy's home. In the back of my head, I thought it weird, but I didn't say anything. But Jay Prince is from Texas, and the lawyer is from Texas. So I'm going to play a clip for you that's saying that Big Joe is alleging that Jay Prince is behind this, trying to take Diddy down. Whew. Take a listen.
out. I said, keep me out of what? But then she got into the threat. Then she brought up, well, me and Mr. J. Prince will be down there. It was brought to my attention later on that J. Prince had a beef with Puffy about slapping Drake. And Drake was calling J. Prince, going off of him for not taking up for him against Puffy.
You hear at the beginning of the clip where she said, me and J. Prince. That was the girl from the last story I just told you guys about, the one saying that she texted him. So the one of the girls that are suing Diddy texted Big Joe. And remember I told you there was more text messages? Now he was just saying like, hey, she also said, if you don't want to stay out of it, me and J. Prince will be down there. So J. Prince allegedly is connected to Tony Busby and one of the cases from the girl that is suing Diddy. Wow. I told you guys this was crazy. All right. Now that we're done with that, we're going to jump to Jaguar Wright. All right. So Jaguar Wright, I played for you guys on Friday's episode 345 or 346, I think. And she went on Piers Morgan, and I made a big deal of it. And over the weekend, it's literally been going crazy, and everybody now has made a big deal of it. I think their interviews had like 4 million views. And Jaguar Wright made a lot of accusations about Diddy and Jay-Z both being monsters. So it went viral over the weekend. It's one of actually my biggest podcast on YouTube, right? So shout out to all you guys for the likes and comments and all that stuff. But there was one thing that I didn't play for you guys last week, and that I want to play for you guys quickly now. I'm not even going to tell you. Take a listen.
Everything that I'm about to say to you is not my firsthand knowledge. It is my firsthand witness account experience. I was a sex worker. I was a dominatrix before I got my record deal.
I never knew that Jaguar Wright was a sex worker. She was a dominatrix. That's crazy. Last week when I told you guys about her, when I Wikipedia'd her and all that stuff, and I told you guys she was in the industry. She was a singer. She was a backup singer for Jay-Z. That's how she knows all this stuff. Again, it's still alleged, but from what I knew, she was in the music industry. But what I just played for you there, that gives so much more context to why Jaguar is going so hard after Diddy and Jay-Z. She was victimized. That's the world in which she comes from. And for those of you who didn't see the last episode, Jaguar Wright has been saying stuff about Diddy and Jay-Z for the past 4 years, and everyone's like, oh, she's a conspiracy theorist, she's crazy. But now that Diddy has been arrested for these things and all these stories are coming out, a lot of people are like, see, y'all said that Jaguar Wright was crazy, but she was telling you guys about Diddy for the past 4 years. That's why people like Piers Morgan and mainstream media is picking her up. Okay, so I also have another clip from Jaguar, and this is a huge accusation. She's saying about Diddy and Jay-Z putting girls in suitcases. I forgot to play this on Friday. Take a listen to Jaguar.
Worn hidden cameras. I have my own tapes. I've seen what they do. The ritualistic behaviors, the drugging, putting girls in suitcases, dumping them in alleyways.
All right, that is a wild accusation, but who knows, man? Like I told you, she's been at this for the past 4 years, so who knows what Jaguar knows. Another thing that I want to get into concerning Jaguar is Ray J now wants to interview Jaguar Wright, and I think on Saturday he put a clip out on his Instagram getting mad at her for speaking to Piers Morgan and going to a white publication and not staying and not coming over to a black media space. For those of you who don't know, Ray J, yes, he's no longer just Brandy's brother. Ray J has his own network, like the Zeus Network. I don't remember. I think it's Tiptronics or something Tronics Network, where he does, it's like, live kind of reality TV. And he wants to interview Jaguar. And again, if he gets Jaguar interview, I think that will probably even be bigger than going on Piers Morgan. Yes, Piers Morgan is mainstream media, but Ray J might not be mainstream, but he has a big black audience in America. And a lot of these, conspiracy theorists that they say that Jaguar is really doesn't really touch that side of mainstream black media. So this will be explosive if she goes and talks with Ray J. But anyways, let's jump over to that story. Ray J goes off on Jaguar Wright after sitting down with Piers Morgan. He said, "I told you I have bags for you. You want to take other N-words money and not show love to your own community." Okay. Ray J is not happy about Jaguar's recent sit down with Piers Morgan. Jaguar Wright sat down with Piers Morgan uncensored last week and detailed her claims against not only Diddy, but Jay-Z. Ray J took to Instagram to share his thoughts and revealed he offered Jaguar Wright money for his interview, but she went to another outlet. He told Jaguar to reach out to him right now, etc., etc. I'm going to play the clip for you so I don't have to read all that. But let's just jump over to the clip right now. You'll hear how mad Ray J is. And for those of you who told me that Piers Morgan is not mainstream media, why do you think Ray J is so mad? Because it exploded, has 4 million views, and Ray J wants that viewership. You know what I mean? So that just is further proof of how big that interview with Piers Morgan was. But anyways, let's hear Ray J yelling at Jaguar Wright. Take a listen.
Hey, yo, Jaguar Wright, trying to hear what you got to say. But you want to keep taking these other niggas' money and not showing love to the community? They're weak as Hit me right now so I can make sure you get a bag and I can understand what's truth and what's not. You safe with me. Stop acting scary. With all due respect, and I love you, and I'm sorry for cursing.
Ray J's jokes. With all due respect, I love you. Sorry for cursing. Anyways, y'all know how Ray J gets down. All right, so that was Jaguar. Let me now talk to you guys. We'll go back to minors. I have a story about a kid named Justin. He's going to talk to you guys about him being at one of Diddy's parties when he was 6 years old. Let's go to Justin. Justin Litovsky details attending a Diddy all-white party when he was just 6 years old. We've seen numerous individuals speak out regarding Diddy's sex trafficking and sexual assault cases, including celebrities, former friends, and victims. Justin is the latest to share his experience, and he claims that he was only 6 years old when he attended one of Diddy's parties. Now that Justin is an adult, he's talking about a viral photo that he had with Diddy from a 1999 all-white party. According to industry insiders, Justin's father, David Allen, was Diddy's photographer at the time, and the whole family attended the party. Justin recalls, Diddy put his arm around me in an uncomfortable way in close areas to where a grown man's hands shouldn't be. Justin's mother, Maya, was also at the party and noted that it was inappropriate at first and then turned raunchy. All right, I have clips of this picture and of them talking. For those of you who are not seeing the picture, who are not watching on YouTube or Spotify right now, I just want to say, to be fair, Diddy looks like he's hugging the kid very innocently, and his hands is on his stomach. His hands is not in anywhere that is inappropriate. I don't know if they are now trying to take advantage of this picture to say something happened after the picture. I'm not saying I believe him or not. I just want to tell you, the people who cannot see this picture that I have up right now, that Diddy's hand is hugging the kid and his hand is on his stomach, and it's not in any way appropriate. But what I do find a little bit weird is what Diddy says at the party after, which I find is inappropriate. Listen to the clip.
The disgraced mogul has his arm draped around a young Justin Litovsky.
He put his arm around me in an uncomfortable way, close to areas that you shouldn't as a grown man.
Kids have like an hour left, but this thing turns into something that when y'all get older, y'all don't want to come to.
Like saying that, like there's an hour left because, in an hour time, things are going to turn crazy and it's going to be something that you're going to want to come to when you're older. You don't say that when kids are around, Diddy. Like, that's disgusting to say, you know what I mean? So, like I said, the picture might be innocent, but that's not something that you say on a microphone. And again, for those who are not seeing the video, Diddy is standing on a balcony. It appears to be like overlooking the party. And could you just imagine kids now, they got to turn to their parents and like, yo, daddy, what does he mean by that? I thought that was horrible of Diddy. All right, let's now jump over to Tupac Shakur's family and them opening up an investigation against Diddy. Let's go to that. Tupac Shakur's family hires an investigator to investigate a possible connection between Diddy and the shooting of Tupac Shakur in 1996. Tupac Shakur's family has enlisted lawyer Alex Spiro and an investigator team to investigate Diddy's possible connection with the Tupac shooting from 1996. Rumors have swirled for a long time that Diddy may have paid off somebody to attack Tupac. Now, we have all heard for years that Diddy was involved in that Tupac incident. And this is not shocking to me. However, what is shocking is that the family now opening up on another investigation. Like, it has been investigated to the core. The people who even there's somebody on trial right now facing trial for that. So I don't know why they're opening up an investigation, but hey, we'll see what comes of it. This is all over the news. This also too is in mainstream media. So like I told you guys before, this is probably Diddy's worst weekend ever of his entire life. Like, every single person this weekend is coming after Diddy, including Tupac's family. All right, let's jump over into a lawyer that says there's a bidding war going on for Diddy tapes. Lawyer Ariel Michelle Kidd reveals a bidding war for Diddy's sex tapes and says there is a young A-list celebrity on those tapes. A lawyer representing one of Diddy's accusers have revealed that there are two major networks currently engaging in a bidding war to acquire one of Diddy's sex tapes with a young celebrity. Her revelation arrives after a scathing New York Post article confirming that the individual filmed on the sex tape was a famous male A-list celebrity. All right, I got video of this too. Let's just jump to the video. We're running out of time. I would love to tell you what I think, but let's just play the clip.
There is at least one major network, possibly two, in a bidding war for that footage.
Well, do you think this is going to surface publicly? I mean, are we getting close to that moment?
From what I'm hearing, I think so.
What I find huge about that is her saying, we're getting close. For weeks now that I've been talking to you guys about this whole Diddy case, I'm like, any day now, anytime, we're going to hear who else is on the tapes. We're going to hear some names. Her saying this, the New York Post reporting it, now that we know that there are two networks bidding for this, we could find this out in the next 24, 48 hours. Like, it is here. Like, we are getting closer and closer to finding out some names of the other celebrities. And now we know it's a young male. I have a clip, a young male celebrity that's more famous than Diddy, more of a household name. Okay. Now, I also have another clip from a Piers Morgan interview. Shout out to Piers. He is literally covering and getting everybody on his show. Shout out to Piers. Here is the lawyer saying that she has seen the tapes, but she can't identify the age of the person on the tapes. This is crazy. Take a listen.
Is it a household name? Secondly, are they engaged in any criminality from what you understand?
More of a household name than Mr. Combs. Criminality, they are engaged in pornography. I could not verify the age of the individual.
That is crazy. All right, let's jump now to Foxy Brown, and then I'm going to give you two updates in Diddy's case, okay? Foxy Brown, my story will shake you. I would have been dead. All right, Foxy Brown put this in her, I think on her IG stories, and she said, my story will shock you to your core. I don't play victim, but I had to step away for a minute for my sanity, or I would have been dead. Okay, why this is a big deal, for those of you who don't know, Foxy Brown was discovered by Jay-Z when she was 14, 15 years old. Now, to tie back to some earlier stories, Jaguar Wright says that Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters. She's also said that Jay-Z is a bigger monster than Diddy. The reason why we've never heard anything about him is because he is more secretive and smarter and keeps it away. Now, if anybody would know about things about Jay-Z, it would be Foxy Brown. So this is why it's huge that Foxy Brown now, all of a sudden, this week, she's like, yo, I'm about to break my silence. I'm about to talk. If you guys heard my story, it's crazy. So who knows what Foxy Brown is going to say? Who knows what platform she's going to go on and what she's going to talk about? Or is she just maybe, teasing this and going to Jay-Z, kind of like how Cassie went to Diddy and was like, yo, pay me 50 mil and I won't say nothing to nobody. So we'll see if this kind comes to fruition. All right, let's jump now to the last two things I want to talk about Diddy. I'm going to give you guys an update on his case. All right. Prosecutors and lawyers for Sean Diddy Combs have agreed to a protective order regarding case discovery that specifies sealed material will not be posted online, including any social media such as Facebook or Twitter. All right, so what this means, by the way, I got this from Megan. Shout out to Megan. Like I told you, she is a trial journalist covering this case and Young Thugs and a bunch of other ones. So I reached out to Megan to ask her what all this means, and this is what she wrote back. So I asked her, I said, okay, now, so everything is going to be sealed. Does that mean now the public is not going to know anything and we're not going to know anything about this case and all of these details? I mean, we are all chomping at the bits to find out what's going on. Now that this is going to be sealed, are we not going to find out anything? And she wrote me back and said, no, this is just pre-trial discovery. And she says it's actually she said it's actually very common. So for those of you here, I heard a lot of people over the weekend saying, oh man, it's all sealed up because there's politicians and A-list celebrities. So we're not going to know anything about it because these big rich people paid, the judges off. And that's why we're not going to find out. That is not true. So thank you, Megan, for debunking that. She said it's very normal. And this is just pre-trial discovery. And I think the reason why, and we're going to have Megan on soon to talk about this, is that pre-trial discovery means that certain things won't make it to trial. So why have it put on social media if it's maybe just hearsay or not true? The things that make it to trial, I think those will be able to be public. Like I said, Megan and I are going to get on this podcast together. She's going to let me interview her. I'll find out more details maybe this week. So shout out to Megan and stay tuned. All right. Lastly, we are going to talk about a new judge on Diddy's case. All right. Really quickly. There is a new judge on Sean Diddy's criminal case. The case was reassigned last Friday to a new district judge. No explanation was given on why Judge Andrew Carter Jr. departed, but Carter said during his September 18th bail hearing that if he wouldn't be able to hear the case, he would send it over to another one of his colleagues. Again, I got this from Megan. And again, this is not uncommon for judges to send cases to other people. There could be a bunch of other reasons. What's weird is that we don't know. Here's the biggest part about that is that Judge Andrew denied bail. Now that we have a new judge, and I told you guys last podcast that Diddy also has new attorneys, 2 new attorneys, and one of the best appellate attorneys in the United States. So we have a new lawyer and we have a new bail hearing. So there's going to be a new judge, and the bail hearing will be in front of 3 circuit court judges. So that's 4 new judges that Diddy now has a chance to get let out on bail. We'll see if Diddy gets out. I don't think it's likely, but he does have a chance because he has new lawyers on the case. All right. So that's it. That's everything with Diddy. Let's jump over into a little bit of sports news. And just want to remind you guys, stay up to date with everything with Diddy with the Turn Out Loud podcast. And if I forgot anything, I'll get it, because I'm sure there's things I forgot. I'll get it in tomorrow's episode. Make sure you guys tune in. And if you guys know of anything or hear of anything that I didn't mention, please send me an email, trent@cfqr600.com. Comment below this video or send me a DM at Trent Out Loud. Let's jump over into speed news. All right, guys, this is going to be the quickest speed news of my life. Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us, has been submitted to 5 categories at the 2025 Grammys. All right, so Kendrick Lamar submitted Not Like Us. I don't know why everyone's talking about this like we didn't know. It's the biggest hip-hop song of the year. Of course, it's going to be submitted to Grammys, and of course, it's going to make Drake look even worse. All right, for those of you who don't know, I am Canadian. Shout out to Toronto, all right? I'm a big Drake fan, so I hate talking about this, but I got to keep it real. Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us have been submitted for Record of the Year, Song of the Year, Best Rap Performance of the Year, Best Rap Song of the Year, and Best Music Video. Yo, I hope he loses every single category, all right? All right, in our second speed story, there is a lot of people online going viral talking about how trash the movie The Joker has been, The Joker 2. Somebody said, I promise you this movie is trash. I'm not a big like Marvel or comics guy, so I'm not really up to date with all of this, but it literally was all over my timeline. It was Diddy and Don't See the Joker 2. So let me know if you guys are going out to see the Joker 2, or if any of you have gone to see it. Let me know. Is it really that bad? Apparently, I think a lot of people are upset that it's a musical and the first one wasn't a musical, but then other people are like, they told you it was a musical, so you should have known about it. So there's an uproar online. Let me know in the comment section below, or send me an email. What side are you on? Did you know it was a musical? Did you not know it was a musical? And if you went to see it, if you liked it. All right, in our third and final speed story, Drake calls out fake rapper friends on stage and then goes and plays Beyonce, Me, Myself, and I. All right, I can't read the article, but I do have a clip. Drake was at a concert in Toronto, a nostalgic concert. We were playing like old school tracks, and he had this to say. Take a listen.
But I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna come to a point in life where people you thought were friends, they might try and move funny with you. They might stab you in the back. They might do a lot of things to you.
All right, you guys know I'm the biggest Drake fan. All throughout the beef, I was riding for my boy Drizzy. And even with the 100 gigs, I was like, yo, let Drake do his thing. Now I'm on the side of the people saying Drake needs to take a break. Like, Drake, everyone's talking about Not Like Us being at the Grammys, and you're on stage, you know, like what looks to be like crying about your fake friends. Like, we all know the industry turned on you. I just don't like I don't like seeing you on stage doing this. You know that I have ridden for you throughout this whole thing. I know that there's people from Drake's camp that watch this podcast. So, yo, guys, get Drake off stage. I thought it was in Turks and Caicos anyways. Like, what's going on? Like, I think Drake needs to just lay low, or just stick to putting out new music. This doesn't look good. My fake friends, my real friends, like, bro, you're Drake. You're bigger than this, man. We need music. We need the comeback. Let's get it. All right, this brings us to question of the day. Oh, this is such a good question of the day. I have some funny answers, but we have no time, all right? So what's a stereotype about Black people that needs to disappear for good? All right, like I said, we're gonna just call out the funny ones here. Somebody said, when we get into your Uber, you don't need to start playing rap music. That's hilarious. She's saying that all Black people don't listen to rap. 360 Jen said, a Black stereotype that I hate is that Black people can't swim and we don't like water. Listen, I'm a big swimmer, so is my sister. However, a lot of people in the Caribbean really don't like water and really can't swim. My mom can't swim. My dad can't swim. My dad can swim a little, but my mom, just last year, we were in Jamaica, and it was painful to get her to go to up to her shins in the ocean, all right? So it is a stereotype, but it is kind of a true stereotype. I can't lie. Still Pretty says that we can't have long hair. Listen, I'm Black. Look at my hair. Long and gorgeous. Marlene Comedy said that we eat watermelon and drink grape soda. Listen, grape soda is fire, all right? I got all the soft drinks in my basement for my sisters because when they come over, and the grape soda is definitely attacked. However, it's not that I hate watermelon, but I don't understand why anybody likes watermelon. It's not sweet, and there's so many way better fruits out there. But yeah, I think that is a horrible stereotype. It's not all Black people hate watermelons. All right. I wish I could get to more. I have a lot of funny ones in here. But comment below, send me an email or a DM. What is a Black stereotype that you think is wrong and we need to get rid of? All right. Kawhi Leonard was being interviewed, and he said this. This is what works for me. I strive for a championship. I'm not out here trying to play 82 games. Even though it's obligated, I try, but it hasn't worked out. All right, I love Kawhi Leonard. Yo, he helped Toronto get that championship, so shout out to Kawhi. I really don't like this statement. I think it's horrible for the NBA, and I think it's horrible for the people that like to watch regular season games. Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, and a lot of NBA players have always said this. People pay big money during the season that can't afford playoff tickets to see their superstars like Steph Curry, Kawhi Leonard, John Morant show up at these regular season games. So the fact that he's like, my only goal in life is to win a championship, not to play 82 games, I think it's really horrible for him. And I think it's really bad for the NBA. Here's a quick clip of Kawhi.
Strive to get a championship. I'm not out there to try to play 82 games.
All right, that is it. Thank you so much for kicking with me on this Monday. It was a huge show. I hope I got everything in, and I hope I got you guys up to date. Before I let you go, just want to remind you guys of all the ways to stay up to date with the Trent Out Loud podcast. For those of you who are watching on YouTube or podcast platforms, please try to check me out from Monday to Friday from 11 to 12 on CFQR600.com or 600 AM on your radio if you're in the Montreal area. We do play the Trent Out Loud podcast, but we mix it in with 90s and 2000s hip-hop and R&B. It's a great hour, and it's a great way to get your entertainment and viral news. Trust me, I play the music, so you know it's a dope hour. Make sure you check us out. Vice versa, for those of you who are watching or listening on CFQR 600, and you cannot always catch the show from 11 to 12. I understand you're busy. You got things to do. Don't worry. You never have to miss a show because we upload everything on podcast platforms and on YouTube. Just go to your desired site, type in Trent Out Loud. The show will pop up. Don't forget to hit the follow and subscribe button so that you can be notified every time we upload a new show. If you're like me and you like to watch your podcast, there's YouTube, but also now Spotify supports video, so you can check out our video on Spotify. Lastly, you could stay up to date with me on any social platform at Trent Out Loud. Don't forget to follow the production company, Exclusivity Media, on Instagram. And for those of you who are on CFQR, stay tuned. Do not log off yet. Don Smooth will be up next for the midday mix. And you know Don is always dropping the hits, so make sure you keep it locked. For the rest of you, I will see you tomorrow for Tuesday. Peace! Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trent Out Loud. Peace! For more content, you could subscribe, download, or listen to the Trent Out Loud podcast wherever you listen to your podcast, or you could watch us on YouTube. Just search Trent Out Loud. For showtimes and updates, you could follow us on all social platforms at Trent Out Loud. Go to signupexpert.com/Trent. Once you sign up for all betting apps and get all your bonuses and get all your rewards, go to your app store and download BetStamp and use promo code TOL.